what? Say, O Muhammad, that a group has what? What sarafna ilayka? Allah says, when we sent to you what? Nafaram min al-jinni yastami'una al-Qur'an. Allah says, a group of the jinn who listen to. And the list goes on and on. Sulaiman alayhi salam. And so, what's in the Quran, you have to affirm. Allah says jinn. The jinn heard the Quran. The jinn traveled. The jinn went back to the people. The jinn went their people. The jinn believed in Muhammad. The jinn. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. What does that mean, brother? He's just figurative. The Quran is a nonsense. It's wasting your time. Obviously, that can't be true. And the same applies to sihr. وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ. And from the evil of women who breathe and blow into knots. What does that mean? Except for what? Sorcery. وَلِيَعْذُ بِاللَّهِ. Huh? Everybody clear on this? يُعَلِّمُونَ النَّاسَ السِّحْرَ. Verse after verse, in which Allah talks about what? بِكُلِّ سَحَّارٍ عَلِيمٍ. Sahirin, Mubin. And then this goes on. Allah talks about sihr and sorcerers. So if it's in the Quran, not this Ibn Abdul Wahhab, Ibn Taymiyyah, for then the Quran. Right there. Yusuf Ali translation. Marmaduke Pictile. What do you have to do? Accept it. We didn't get into the hadith yet. And we didn't get into common sense, which is one of the most useful tools to the layman Muslim, friendly Muslim, common sense. If sorcery was totally fake, then it wouldn't be around. If sorcery was totally fake, then it wouldn't be what? Wouldn't be around. People still wouldn't be talking about it to this day. It has existed for how many centuries? Except for the fact that it's what? Real. And it has an effect. And if it wasn't, it wouldn't be known among every culture. You take someone from West Africa, North Africa, South Africa, East Africa, Central Africa, in America, here in this country, in New England, witch hunt. This is reality. There isn't a video game or a movie or a cartoon or super except for there's some type of what? Wizard. Everybody understand this? King Arthur. Harry Potter. Another goes on. So all of these different people of religions, races, men, women, generations, they're all united upon something that's totally what? No, not false. Baseless. That's something which is intellectually what? Can't be true. Everybody understand the principle here? Very important principle here. It's impossible for this to be made. And the same applies to superstition. Superstition and how non-Muslims look at it and the rabbit's foot and this and that, we know is not correct. But the general concept of superstition has a foundation to it. That there are certain things that are signs of bad. And certain things that are a sign of good. And there is a such thing as having good fortune and being blessed. And there's a such thing as being cursed. There's such thing as being far from Allah's mercy. There's no doubt about that. There's such thing about a person not being blessed with certain things to go right in his life. Whatever words you want to use. Unlucky, unfortunate, whatever word you want to use. And then there are people that everything they do as if it turns to gold, like Midas. They're just Mubarak. وَجَعَلَنِي مُبَارَكًا أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُ. Allah says, Isa said, and He made me Mubarak. He made me blessed. Wherever what? Wherever I go. Certain brothers want to get married, it works out for them. They want to go overseas, they want to get a job, they want to do this, they're just Mubarak. And there's certain brothers that just doesn't what? Work out for them. You're going to deny this? This is a what? This is reality of life. So there is a foundation to what? To that. Now you making certain things signs of good and others without proof from Allah and His Messenger, a different story. Everybody clear on this? So the proof that it has some foundation to it is that it's universally accepted to all. Make sense, guys? Very important principles here, guys. Very what? Very important. Sihr can't be totally fake and false because it survived. Like certain animals. If this animal wasn't a resilient animal or insect, it wouldn't have went extinct. In all 6 continents, there's a what? It's a rat, a mouse. Everywhere you go. Everybody understand this? That this animal has to have some serious skills of what? There's no question about that. And if that wasn't the case, it would have went what? I read the history about water bugs and roaches, how long they've been around. Everybody understand this? Wallahu alam. Khalid.
So what do we say about? There's this guy. He claims to be a scholar. He says that jinn possessions and iron, black magic, that stuff doesn't exist. Is this guy still a Muslim?
Just like we previously said, it's to be explained to him. If he accepts it, alhamdulillah, and if he doesn't, and he refuses, and he says that it's all false and hogwash and made up, and he presented the clear verses from Kitab, the clear hadith from the Prophet ﷺ, how can he be a Muslim? And he's rejecting that which is clearly mentioned in the Quran. Clearly. Not an issue of ijtihad, that which is clear as day. Wallahu a'lam. Tight, we'll stop here, inshallah. Fadal.
Yeah, the question is, if I pray by myself for Fajr, Maghrib, and Isha, do I have to pray loud or?
If you pray by yourself, a prayer, and crystal clear, you're making a salat like Maghrib or Fajr or Isha by yourself, should you still recite out loud? Yes, make the salat as if you were making it in congregation. Obviously, saying the takbir aloud, there's no one behind you of the human beings. Only Allah knows what angels are there or what jinn are there. Nobody's praying with you of human beings. You don't have to say that aloud, but the recitation of the Quran should be made just like you were making it what? In congregation. Do it the same, inshallah. And Allah knows best. Fadal. What are things that you would recommend for a person who aspires to be a student of knowledge to do? Watch Hadithdisciple. That's what I would advise you to do. What does that mean? Be like me? No, doesn't mean that. But mean all of the things that you can think about, or most, we've what? Explained in detail. Dress, this, food, this. Everybody saying this? That's my advice. Wallahu alam. Shaykh Khan.
Isn't it accepted that based on the revelation whereby Prophet ﷺ was instructed to not to raise his voice or to lower his voice in Salah, to find a middle ground? Isn't that the essence there? Isn't it something that we should take as a general thing with all aspects of our deen, the middle course?
We clearly mentioned that, the importance of balance. The importance of what? Balance. Of balance and everything. There's no question about that. We mentioned that from the benefits of hadith. However, balance doesn't necessarily mean being unnecessarily timid because of the kuffar. That's a problem. Clear on that? Wisdom, hikmah, balance does not mean what? Unnecessarily outwardness of Islam, whatever it is, dress, adhan, your diet. Everybody understand this or not? Everybody clear on this? The kuffar. Khalid, you gave me those cookies earlier, those biscuits, Walkers, right? They're from Scotland. Did you see what was on the box? There's a green dot on the box. You know what that green dot represents? Do you know what it represents? That green dot represents that the food is lawful and permissible for Hindus to eat. That has no type of animal products, dairy that comes from animal products in those cookies. And the cookies come from where? Scotland. Proving what? The power, the influence, the importance of what? Hindus in Scotland. In which they're now imposing their will on the European culture and civilization. I'll show you the box if you don't believe me. Green dot. Like I saw when I was in India. You go to the mess room, as they call it. The mess hall. Yeah, meaning this is a 6-star hotel now. All types of dishes, chefs, everything you can think about is in this place. Anything you can imagine is there. And on every single silver tray or the thing you open up is a red dot or a green dot. Red dot or what? Green dot. Meaning showing Hindus what they can and cannot eat. Was there a halal sign? No. Kosher sign? No. But for sure they were what? dots. Because Hindus in this country, in this hotel, in Scotland, have some type of what? Voice, force. And they are forcing other people. You have to consider our way of life, even if it's just partially. You can hate us. You can say whatever you want about us. But we have money. We have influence. We can make your company rich by buying your cookies and your biscuits or not. You make the choice. You want 50,000 people to buy your product or none? You make the choice. Go ahead. But you can't do that. Oh, well, no, it's okay. We don't have to, honey, he doesn't have to eat halal. We can, do this. We can do. They don't care. But you force the non-Muslims to respect certain aspects of the what? Of Islam. You can't do that if you always what? And under the guise, as they say, of what? Balance and wisdom. Everybody clear on this? You have to be outward. Islam grows like that. Everybody clear on this? So just stop and think about that and let that food for thought. The Hindu dot, on the what? Box of Scottish cookies. After this, I'm going to show you the only thing I'm making it up. Inshallah. He's like, maybe Mufti's exaggerating. Ibn Munir, he's another one of his lies, right? Allah knows best. This will conclude our session tonight. Jazakumullahu khairan.